14 things you didn't know about Bangladesh. Being one of the most underrated countries in Asia, this country is braided with the biggest mangrove forest, tigers, centuries-old mosques and mausoleums. With deliciously lush landscapes with more shades of green than you can ever imagine, this country is a world within itself with a rich culture waiting to be explored by pioneering travelers. Here at ROMROM, we focus on providing you the best to get you inspired. Because we want to be the top resource on the most interesting destinations on this planet, we couldn't wait to bring this up. With that said, here's a list of 14 things you didn't know about Bangladesh. Number 1. Country of farmers. Half of the country is composed of farmers. Agriculture is the largest employment sector in Bangladesh. Rice, wheat, jute are considered as primary crops. Because of the country's fertile soil and normally ample water supply, rice can be grown and harvested up to 3 times a year. 3% of the world's tea comes from Bangladesh. The industry also employs about 4 million people. With a population of over 160 million, including 80 million farmers, 18% of the nation's GDP comes from agriculture alone. Number 2. It's shockingly cheaper when compared to other parts of the world. A decent meal of Chinese, Indian or Bangladeshi food costs just under $4. Even the most traditional delicacies like the kachi biryani is more than enough for one's stomach and costs just over $1. Traveling by air-conditioned intercity coach for a distance of 200 kilometers can cost as little as $10. Also, flights inside Bangladesh are generally affordable, and this is the most comfortable and convenient way to travel around the country. And because of the size of the country, most flights are less than 1 hour. Also, a decent room with air condition and hot water will cost around 5,000 Bangladeshi taka or about $60. This is because 31% of the people are still living under the poverty line, and according to the World Bank statistics, 20 million people are still living on less than $2 a day. Number 3. World's largest bay. The Bay of Bengal, bounded by India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Maldives and Sri Lanka, is the biggest bay in the world with its size of 2,172,000 square kilometers. Around 30% of the fishermen of the world live and work on the Bay of Bengal. With the deepest part of the bay being 1,000 meters more than the height of Mount Fujiyama of Japan, this water region produces 7% of the world's fish. Number 4. It is the second largest garment manufacturer in the world. Despite the prevalence of farmers, the main export earnings of Bangladesh come from the garments industry. Just behind China, Bangladesh has surpassed all other countries in apparel exports, accounting for $21 billion, which is 80% of the total export income. The sector also employs nearly 4 million people, 80% of which are female. The textile industry includes knitwear, ready-made garments along with specialized textile products with over 4,000 garment factories currently in operation. So if you see the Made in Bangladesh tag on your clothes next time you shop, don't be surprised. Number 5. The country's head of state, the parliament speaker and opposition leader are all women. Nowhere else in the world has this situation been seen before. There hasn't been a single male head of state since 1990. The country has also improved significantly in decreasing domestic violence against women, rape and generalities to women. Number of jobs have been increasing for women since 2010. Number 6. Most mobile phone users in the world. Being the 6th most densely populated country in the world, its population is larger than the population of the largest country in the world, Russia. Let that sink in. The number of telephone users in Bangladesh is more than the total population of Germany, Australia, and even the United Kingdom. Also, the model age of population is 17 to 40, meaning a strong youth force. Number 7. Third largest Muslim population in the world. Just behind Indonesia and Pakistan, Bangladesh has become the largest Muslim population in the world. The predominant religion in Bangladesh is Islam, with 88.3% of the population adhering to that faith. There are also other religions in the country, among which Hinduism is the biggest minority. Also, other faiths of Christians, Buddhists, Animists, and even Jews, all living in harmony. Number 8. Top rice eaters. If you are a Bangladeshi, then you can't go without rice. 98% of the population eats rice every day. The country has an yearly usage of 27 million metric tons of rice, which earns it the 4th place in rice consumption of the world, just behind China, Indonesia, and India. Number 9. Longest sea beach. Cox's Bazar, a town in the southeast coast of Bangladesh, is known for its very long sandy beachfront. The beach in Cox's Bazar is an unbroken 125 km sandy beach with a gentle slope and holds the record for the world's longest sea beach. Next time you visit Bangladesh, don't forget to hitch a ride to Cox's Bazar. Number 10. World's largest river delta and mangrove. The Bengal Delta, located on the coastline of Bangladesh, is the largest river delta in the world. It's fed by two large Himalayan rivers, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra. With some of the world's most fertile soil, the delta is home to approximately 130 million people, a large majority of which survive on agriculture. The delta is also home to the world's largest mangrove, the Sundarbans, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site covering 10,000 square kilometers across Bangladesh and India. The Sundarbans are home to an array of wildlife and threatened species such as the estuarine crocodile, the gigantic dolphins, the monitor lizards, Ridley turtles, and the Royal Bengal tiger. Did you know the roar of a Royal Bengal tiger can be heard of from 3 kilometers away? Number 11. It's the only country to fight a war and declare independence over language. Bengali, locally referred as Bangla, is the official language of Bangladesh. In the years following the division of the Indian subcontinent, tension rose between West Pakistan and Bangladesh, which was then known as East Pakistan. They had disputes over various subjects, including economic exploitations, political divisions, cultural differences, views on religious fundamentals, and most importantly, language. Urdu was declared as the only national language of Pakistan. This was strongly opposed by the populace of East Pakistan, following the deaths of students and civilians in demonstrations of protest against it on February 21, 1952. Later, Bangla was made the official language of Bangladesh in 1971 after its independence. UNESCO declared February 21st as International Mother Language Day in remembrance of the language movement of Bangla. Now, over 215 million people speak the language and it's ranked 7 in the top languages of the world. Besides Bangladesh, Bangla is also spoken by the Bengalis living in Tripura, southern Assam, and the Bengali population of West Bengal in India, and also the Indian Union of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Number 12. Biggest central bank heist in recent history. In February 2016, the Bangladesh Central Bank was the target of one of the biggest bank heists in recent history. An attempt was made by hackers to steal roughly $1 billion from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York through small transactions. Out of the 35 transactions, 5 were approved, valuing a staggering $100 million. The flagged transactions were later blocked at the request of the Bangladesh Central Bank. Subsequent investigation of the heist found the presence of malware on the Bangladesh Central Bank's systems. Malware were spread through all the email systems and infiltrated the bank's computers. Of the 100 million stolen, only 40 million were recovered. Many speculate Bangladeshi involvement in the whole matter, which was no surprise as the corruption in the country is rampant and routinely falls amongst the most corrupt countries in the world, the latest data placing it at 31st in the most corrupt countries in the world. Number 13. The Muslin Fabric. The Muslin fabric is a renowned lightweight cotton fabric that was first hand-woven in Bengal region around current-day Dhaka. It was such a thin fabric that it's said that a whole sari could fit inside a matchbox. Muslin was highly prized throughout history, with records showing that the fabric was used in ancient Egypt to wrap mummies and was worn by high-ranking women of imperial Rome. Also, did you know that the Wright brothers, in search of a light and strong fabric to cover the gliders of their first air-powered aircraft, selected the Pride of the West, muslin, as a covering for wings and control surfaces. Number 14. The Burma situation. Bangladesh shares a border with Burma. Since late August 2017, Burmese security forces have been carrying out a large-scale campaign of ethnic cleansing against Rohingya Muslims in Rakhine state of Burma. Over 500,000 Rohingya since have fled to Bangladesh to escape torture. The Rohingya, effectively denied citizenship under Burmese law, have faced decades of repression, discrimination and increased atrocities which includes mass killings, sexual violence and widespread arson amounting to crimes against humanity. Since then, there have been over 1.5 million tweets on the subject, and the refugee camps have been visited by a dozen celebrities. The Bangladesh government still responds to the massive humanitarian needs of the people, along with many other organizations like UNDP, UNICEF and UNHCR. Well done, Bangladesh. So how many of the facts did you already know? And what did you think of our list? Do you think there's something we missed? Let us know down in the comments below. And if you liked our video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. Still with us? For sitting around till the end, here is a bonus fact for you. Number 15. 6 seasons. Bangladesh is sometimes called the playground of the seasons because it has not 4 but 6 separate seasons. Yes, you heard me right. The seasons are named Grisho, summer, Borsha, rainy, Sharad, autumn, Hemanto, cool, Sheet, winter, and Bashanto, spring. Cool, right? That was all for today. Thank you for spending some time with us. We at ROMROM appreciate your input. If you think of a topic you might want to see a video on, let us know down in the comments below and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Also, we handpicked these other videos you might enjoy.